Hi, it's Jess here from Nigezza Creates. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to do some work on my Alice journal, setting a challenge over on Junk Journaling for Everyone. And this month in June, we're doing an Alice theme. So I've got out all my Alice bits, and I'm also taking this away. So on Monday to Wednesday, I'm going on the Rach Umbrella Crafts retreat down in Wales. So I thought I'd be working on this journal down there. So I thought this helped me to get all the stuff together, because I'd sort of recently printed off and tea dyed even, the back of lots of this ephemera. I couldn't remember what it was. Well, it was being flattened underneath some heavy books. So what I thought I'd do today, so I've got lots of pages here that are tea dyed that are going in the journal signatures, and then I've got some that aren't, and I thought that I might use these for I'm probably going to use the images, but the ones that don't have images, I thought make some labels. I've got this, came today, so excited, some label stamps. Been looking at Mr. Holt's ones, but his are all sort of oblongy. I liked this Sexad circle ones, which I just thought was a bit different. So went for this, and it was a smidge cheaper, not much cheaper, but it was a smidge cheaper. So I thought I could use these to stamp on some of the pages and get some nice labels that way. So let me just clear the decks and we'll get started. Okay, so first thing I did is I've got all the labels mounted on blocks ready to be used. I've not bothered with the 3 sizes and number or the pointy hand. It's not to say I'm not going to use them at some stage, but just not right now is what I'm thinking. Right, now this one's got an image on it, so I might use that image. I don't know yet, but I don't want to burn the bridges. So I thought, right, that one's not big enough. I did think about maybe doing a label with that. We'd end up with a chapter in it. Yeah, but I thought that might make a nice label, and I certainly thought that would make a nice label. It does mean I'd lose some of that, but I think I've got enough images, so I'm not worried. But to do these two, I'd need to use my stamp positioning tool. I'm just gonna take away ones with images. I was just looking there, so some of this sort of like instantly, there's Alice loads of times on that page. So that might be a good tag, whereas here can't see it quite so much, to sort of pick out areas that you would look at and think, oh, that's definitely from Alice in Wonderland. You know, to make my labels. I'm going to use Pebble Path, I think, because I like it. It's my new favourite. It's a new favourite. Right, what about that big round thing? Would that work in there? Do you know what I should do? Because these are can't see through them. I like being able to see through them, but I can't. It mightn't be a bad idea to stamp them on some acetate so that I can line them up. There's an idea. Let me get some acetate. Okay, so I've got some acetate. So this is just clear plastic that you get on packaging, so it's nothing expensive. And I just spent 5 minutes looking for my stays on and me Versamark, my Memento. I clearly haven't used them since I changed where my desk is. So that was a surprise. So that was a sort of a waste. So obviously with it going on acetate, it needs to be Stays On or some other permanent glue. This will now stain my stamps, but that's okay. If you wash them quickly, you can get it off. I am a little bit particular. No, it's not coming off now. Don't matter. They'll eventually get stained over time. That's a bit better. But hey ho, that's fine. So let's just carry on and not worry about it. So just sometimes you just want to go, oh, will that image fit in the label? And this is my solution. Most of the time I probably won't be bothered. It's gone off it a bit, it's fine. But if I am, then I will have to leave this to dry a little bit. So I'm going to wash my stamps and leave that to dry. Okay, so I think that's pretty well dry. So now I can kind of have a little look-see at which one would fit. So it's not going to fit in the circle, but it will fit in that one. So that is definitely a possibility there. So yeah, I can just sort of like have a little look round. I do like Curious and Curiouser. So that would be a nice big label there. And we've got the Curious and Curiouser there. But again, I probably need my stamp positioning tool for that one. I can see me having to get that out to do some of these, but I do think that would be a nice tag back there. And I can still have your rabbit on the other side. So let's stop messing and start doing something. So I might, let's rip that down. Could be a belly band as well, couldn't it? Right, so then we've got Mr. Rabbit on the other side. So that's quite cool. So that can go on top of a tag, sort of ready. Yeah, So we're sorted with that one. I might just now randomly make some labels on here. Those are pretty white bits, so I'm not worrying about those. So let me get my pebble path and there we go. I'm gonna get a little, where's my little cleaning up cloth? There we go. I'm just gonna take that bit out of the centre. It probably wouldn't stamp on it, but so let's go at the top. Kind of, I've got to eyeball this to be straight. They're sort of cut. You had to hand cut these. I've not done that for a long time. The stamps don't come ready cut. There, like that. That works. Shall we have a round one? I don't think that'll come out, so that's fine. So I think we might just go there, where I could see the word Alice and caterpillar. Yeah, like it, like it. Will that fit in there? Yeah. So I think to just see what we're going to get, that one's not straight. That will annoy me, so might not use that one. So you need to do better, Jez. That's not quite straight. I think stamp positioning tool might be a must. So let's just do some round ones, because we can do round ones because they don't matter. Because it's a circle and you can move it any way around you want. A wee one in the middle. Not really got much in that one, but that's okay. Right, moving them out. Let's get some of these cut out and see what we got now. What I think worked out was that I can use my circle punches to punch out these 1 3/4. That was another thing I hoped when I saw this set. I hoped that I could use a circle punch. The air is slightly bigger. Oh no, it's more or less spot on. Cool, like that. So we've got Alice and we've got caterpillar. So I can do other things on that, obviously. Well, it might not be obvious, but I'm going to do other things on that. I can do a few little fussy cuts, so I could stick something on it. And that's a smaller one. So I think this one is 1.5, and then I think I've got 1 3/4 of an inch. Right, I need to cut down there. I just think this a bit. That's 1 1/4, Jez. Where's my 1.5 inch circle? Oh, I had it close by. You have got it close by. 1.5. There we go. All the circles. I have all the circles. Right. It's slightly smaller, but it's still fine. And then 1 inch, please. That's your 3/4. That's your 1 inch. Oops. So I just think, you know, like when you're doing together, putting a cluster together, these are quite handy little things to have in the background. And I like that it is actually from an Alice book. There we go. So that's them. I was saying it was the ability to do circle punches that made me go for this one and bin in that rather than Timmy Nan's one. So I'm going to use my little trimmer on these ones. Might have been better off using scissors, but there we go. Once you've like established a straight edge, we're cooking on gas really. I was watching one of Rachel's, from Rachel and Bella Craft's latest video last night, and she was talking about how excited she was about the retreat. I'm very excited. I haven't packed yet. Can't pack when you don't know what you're taking, can you? Simple as that. So, keep changing my mind about what crafts I'm going to take, and I know what it's going to be like. I'm going to just take too much and not use it. And I know what I'm like when I go Stampin' Up events. I don't do any crafting, so we'll see. Right, that needs a bit more of a off there. Love it. I love that with that. I think that's a good way of using that title bit of all the pages. I think they're cool. I might just do these with my scissors. Because I think that'll be quicker. And slightly more rough and ready. Not bad at cutting in a straight line. If you use your fingers there to steady, it's a little bit easier. Yeah. I'm just hoping this weather stays. I mean, I don't like being as hot as I am, but the place where the retreat is, it's just beautiful, and it would just be so much nicer if it was in the sunshine. Wales is beautiful. Went to Wales last year for a week's holiday, and but the place got a hot tub. I too love a hot tub, so I enjoyed that. Bubbles with bubbles, that's what I like. Bubbles, darling. Like a bit of fizz. There we go. So that's them. I think they're quite successful. Quite successful. Right. Now, let's move some of this out the way. managed to rub a bit of them off. No, I haven't. That one just didn't stamp that well. So those need to be kept. I might keep that with the stamp box, actually. Okay, so let's get to stamping using a stamping tool. Now, I do have a Stampin' Up Stamparatus. I've also got the Tim Holtz positioning tool. But sometimes it's just easier to go back to old school. And sometimes I find the old Stamp-A-Me-Jig, Stampin' Up made it, but I think you can get it from other companies. And sometimes this is just quicker and easier. And so let's do this Alice in Wonderland one, because that will be easier to show because it's clear. So I've got these that are stamped out. So I'm going to use that big one because that's perfect size for it. So it's here on a block. So you need a bit. So this is a bit of packaging. I can't find the actual bit that came with this. It came with a square bit of sort of acetate, and it's got to have a good right angle. So if you're cutting down packaging to use, and I created several different ones as well because I felt I didn't have enough. And you sort of stamp it. I'm going to move this along because it's, oh, I don't need to move it along, you just do the other side. So you've got your stamp on the block. It doesn't matter where on the block you've got your stamp. And don't use stays on or anything permanent for this, because you want to wipe it off afterwards. You just want it so that you can keep reusing it. So we're going to do this. So I've got this right up into the corner. You're going to place your block right up into the corner, and you're going to stamp. And there you've got what you want. So now you place this image over there, and you decide, going to come in there, you decide where you want it. I like it there. Okay, I'm going to re-ink my label, and then holding that in place, put this back, take that away, and now I know that when I stamp this, it'll be in the right place. She says, with all her fingers crossed. Almost perfect. Slightly out of line, but that's good enough for me. That would be better than if I'd done it without it. Forgetting my words. So like that there. Try it again. Oh, see, I moved it there. There, that's where I want it. There we go. Perfect. So there was bits in the text that I liked. Curiouser and Curiouser. I really liked that. So I want that to be there. And I just think the trial and error of lining this up on my stamp positioning tool would be just too hard. So putting that in, making sure it is where I want it. There, slightly not straight, but it's okay. It is okay. Was there some other bits I wanted to do? Find some other pages. That I could. Where we've got those at the beginning of the chapters where we've got the big letters. I like them. They're cool bits to use. I don't have any more. Oh, there's one. We'll have that one. What's on the other side? Oh, Alice with the Mock Turtle. I'd be sacrificing that for it. I may not do that. Oh, there's Alice and the Mock Turtle there. Yeah. So we'll go with that one. We'll go with that one. So it's on the other side, Jez. So I was looking at the timings of this, and I think you might see some weird, slightly weird editing going on. When I started this video, I was doing some other things with book pages. I'm going to put that out as a separate video and just do labels in this one. So if you see a bit of funny editing, thinking, oh, what happened there? That's what's happened, me changing my mind. So put that down, push it up into the corner, move it to where we want it. There. Stamp this. There we go. We're getting more squiff as time goes on. Oh dear, never mind. It is what it is, and I'm absolutely fine with it. So now we'll just cut these out and see what they look like. I have got lots of, I've been cutting up little elements from the kits. I don't know if I've mentioned the kits, so I'm using line dot arrow, Artie Maze, and Tracy Fox Love Jack journals. Those are the 3 kits I'm using, and some other little bits and pieces I might have found searching the public domain. And of course this Alice book that has the original images in, but it's not old, so reproduction. So although the images are in the public domain, I think most of them are, if they've been reproduced in a more moderner book, great use of English, Jess, they'll be copyright renewed there. So I'm okay with that, because it's a junk journal, and I don't think it matters that things aren't perfectly straight. This one appears to be, oh, I didn't need to worry about that Mock Turtle thing if I got one there. Oh, what an idiot. Anyway, I decided to do it anyway, so it's okay. So yeah, I'm just using my Timmy scissors because they've got a nice straight blade. And so I just think it's nice having all this sort of bits of ephemera already made. They'll make making clusters, decorating tags, what have you, a lot easier to have them bloody done. There we are, so they're all cut out, and I fussy cut, I think it was out of this bit of the page, I fussy cut that little Alice. I thought I could use her, and I've got this wrapping paper, and so I cut out a little Alice there. I thought she'd look cool on there. So I've got all these bits, so I thought we'd decorate a few labels. So first off, they need distressing because they're the wrong colour. Now I could have tea dyed the paper first. That would have saved a lot of time, but I didn't, so never mind. So it sort of gets them a similar colour, and it doesn't take too long, and I quite like it. Might do some other bits of stamping on them, haven't quite decided, but just fancied having some of these in my stash. I also fancy having some smaller labels as well. I haven't stamped all of the sizes, so I might do that in a bit. So I'm just going to carry on doing this. Okay, so they're all done. So I've got some, I've cut out lots of different things here. They're actually tabs, which I may or may not use on these bits, although I could put a tab on the Alice in Wonderland. It's quite cute. Depending on how I'm going to use it on the page, would depend on how I am going to use it. I haven't cut those up. Maybe a bigger circle behind there. Just have the word Alice poking out. That's quite a nice little cluster going on there. And I do fancy colouring her. Let's have a look at the other Alice for colours. Oh, I'm not sure that. So in that one, is that like it in all of these? But she's not wearing a blue dress. We think of Alice as wearing a blue dress. Is that Disney that's made us think that? Because she's not wearing a blue dress there. She's got a blue bow and got blue trimmings around her apron, but she's not actually wearing a blue dress. Well, there's a thing, but she isn't. Oh no, and she's not in these. No, that's right. So, well, I never. So I'm thinking a bit of Lost Lagoon for the trim. I'm gonna sort of watercolour, I think. Right, can't see a bow, but we have got a bit. Right, so I've got a special pen which sort of helps you sort of watercolour. So I'm just going to pick up a bit of, so I've got a little bit of control here. Going round. So it's not as dark as using a pen, but you've got a bit more control than you would with a watercolour brush. Right, so put blue there. There we go. Can't really see the bow on her dress. Oh, and she's got blue tights on. There. And then just like you would with a watercolour, you brush off like so. So I'm wondering about this colour. Get a little block. Some ink on there to give myself a palette. Let's see what that colour looks like. Oh, it's not bad. Not bad at all. I think I'll have that for a dress. You can add it darker so you can get a bit of movement going on. There. And then colouring her skin, maybe a bit. Clips of coral done really light. Just giving a hint. There we go. There. I think that's okay. That'll work for me. I like watercolouring because it's very forgiving, and it allows even me, who's not very good at painting, to be able to produce something that looks okay. So that's what I wanted to do there. I do have a stamp set, It's got a few things on that I thought would work really well. Now I'm thinking that would look nice in the front of, on the beginning of the page. I'm going to click those two together and use those at some future date. Not now, not now. Oh, we were doing something with this, weren't we? You were doing that, Jez. Forgot. Terrible at forgetting. Do I actually want to use a different ticket? Something with a bit more colour. I think that's a better colour match. I quite like that one. Quite like that one. Let's do that. I certainly think Mad Hatter and tea parties when I think of Alice. So, and that's her kind of looking, oh, this way, wrong way. Oh, I'm all confused. I don't know what to do. I think that's a lovely little cluster going on there, Jez. Let's get gluing. So, did I? Oh. So, bit of glue on there, and on the back bit of that. So that. Go around there. Just stick a bit on the back of that foot. Bit of glue around here. There's something up with this glue ball. I think I need to put a pin down it. I think I left the lid off overnight, which is something I often do. There we go. How's that for my first little label, cluster, whatever? That's ready to go somewhere. I'm really liking that. Okay, so I have been busy doing more fussy cutting and more stamping and more label making. So I've got this big stamp set. I got it in a charity shop, and it's got these playing cards. It's got that lovely sort of check. It's got card suits there, and I thought they would make good labels, so, or you know, embellishments. So I have stamped and cut out these things, and then I did some smaller labels, and I got them all ready to do some more things with. I then stamped out some more of these. I took those out of like the title page there, yeah, so I thought we'd make a few more of these things. So I had a little play here and thought that looked quite good because we've got the watch on there. Put a bit of that behind, although now I've made these, I could. Was he late for going to the tea party? I think he was, wasn't he? I think so. So could put that behind. Quite like that. Although that's the same colour. Would prefer it slightly different. So yeah, that's where I'm going. So I thought I'd just put a few of these together. So they're all inked and everything. So so yeah, that was what I was thinking. So quite like that there. Yeah, just stick him on the corner. So I just put some glue down there, and then I'll use these for going on the front pockets, or just as a cluster on a page. But I thought it'd be quite cool to just have some ready-made, and then I can just pull them out and quickly put some things together when I'm at the retreat, was what I was thinking. That one's done. That's done, Jess. That's done. I did quite the idea of a circle because we've got the clock there. So yeah, I put that behind. So I am really liking the look of these labels on the actual book pages. Yeah, like that. Right, this one I liked. So these were together, and I just fussy cut them apart, and I thought I'll split them. That was my thoughts, to have that one on that corner and this one over here, and then stick that somewhere, was what I was thinking. Have that one ready. What did I have here? Oh yeah, and then I found this one. This was all about the caterpillar. So we have the caterpillar there. So I thought I'd stick that on the edge there, so I can see the caterpillar and Alice, and have that there. That's what I thought. Trouble with this is I'm not quite sure where it's going to glue, so it's a bit easier if you're actually putting it on a page, but I'm just making it to have it ready, so I may have put glue where I don't want it, but that's pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot. And then there was this Alice one which I stuck together to remind me to put together, and I just thought, now I'm just thinking, just going to stick it on there. So she's ready. That's ready, that's ready, that's ready. What else might we do? So we've got a Mad Tea Party. I was looking for the Mad Hatter, but I couldn't actually find a little Mad Hatter. I'm sure I'll find one somewhere. Right, oh, there's tea, the tea party. So I've got that. I've got these teacups I made. Did that one? Oh, I've got that one. That fits nicely on there. And then actually, poke that under there and get, what should I put behind? Circle, got a big circle there. And put it under there. I see the word Alice. I think that's quite cool. It's the only big circle I've got. I could always stamp and print another one if I wanted another bit of a book. Bit of a book page there. Maybe I'll do a different colour. I might stamp it in Pecan Pie. Pecan Pie. Alice is there. There we go. Like that. And I might, so I was using a bit of smoky slate. And I might get a little light bit of that in the background. I liked that. And I've got the suits. Put them there. Yeah, like that. So that's what I did on the page, was I just stamped on it and randomly stamped these things. So yeah, so that's what I did, and then I went over and made some more labels that way. Yeah, so where was that little cluster that I just lost? There. So now put that on there. We can see Alice. Oh yeah, like that. So this needs a bit of so I die cut these. I was visiting my friend and she's got this teacup die. I don't have it, so I die cut a load. Yeah, like that. I like it. So we are going to put that on there. Yeah, so we'll do that on there. So we're going up from there, up in a straight line. Sticking the rest on. I did, as soon as I saw this set, it was a Stampin' Up set, I thought, oh, Alice in Wonderland. Didn't like any of the rest of it particularly, but I did think these cups were just perfect for Alice in Wonderland, and they're great cutting out by cutting them from bits of the digitals. So then, yeah, we'll stick that behind. Yeah. So we're not seeing much of it, but we're seeing enough, I think. So that's another little cluster. So I started off with labels and I've ended up with clusters. So let's just see what we've got, because I think we are running out of time now. Oh yeah, so I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not masses, but I've done a lot of fussy cutting, done a lot of stamping, I've done a lot of sort of cutting out things. So, and I've got lots ready to work on. So hope that was useful. Hope you join in the challenge at Junk Journaling for everyone. And I mean, these are Alice themed, but you can always make other labels and clusters. And if you haven't got any label stamp sets, then you can paint them on. Something that's Roxy Creations did a few weeks ago, just painted labels. Do that, but you know, use up your book pages and yeah, see what you come up with. Okay, bye for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.